Hi, I'm Sarah Zero from Wellstruck, and today I have Daniela Galdi with me. So Daniela Galdi was the host of last month's Wellstruck Lady Boss. Wellstruck Lady Boss is an event series that I host monthly for women entrepreneurs in Philadelphia. And for the first time ever, we thought it would be really cool to have Daniela, my co-host, and I get on here on a video to tell you a little bit about the most popular question that was asked at our Wellstruck Lady Boss event last month. So without further ado, I'm going to let Daniela introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So I loved last month's Lady Boss event. Feels like it was an eternity ago, but it was only last month. But I loved it, and I was really honored that you, Sarah, asked me to do this, and I was super excited because our theme was media for your business. So a little bit about myself. My background is in entertainment. I've been an entertainer my whole life, but with that, through dance, I found a love for movement and for fitness. And so I started to get into the fitness world, and I was running my own workshops. I ended up opening a Pilates studio at 24 and, knowing nothing about business. And I had a business mentor for years. I'd meet with lots of people. And so I started to, I always knew I wanted to work on my own ideas. So entrepreneurship has been a part of my life for a long time. So I also at 21 started a performance company, and we did live productions and fundraisers and things like that. So moving forward from there, it's been years. Over the years, I've been helping people one-on-one with their business or their projects or their ideas. And so recently I started to, take appointments to actually work deeper with people on that. Call that Down to Business with Daniela, because I like to do.
It's so you, down to business with Daniela.
Thank you. And I do some videos. I'd like to do more videos. So, there's never just one thing, one idea in my head. It's always down to the big picture of a million different things. So I've been helping with some personal consulting. And I'm also, my love for entertainment is still there. So I'm also on QVC right now as a backup host for Lori Grenier.
Which is super awesome. Lori Grenier from Shark Tank. That's so cool. I'm so excited for you. It's been fun to watch you on your growing journey of entertainment. So naturally, our theme for last month's Lady Boss event was media for your business, because Danielle is so good at talking and teaching people how to get more comfortable on camera. In fact, she her nudges are part of what got me eager to try out Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and things like this more often. So
and killing it with it.
Thank you. Yeah, so I want to jump right in and tackle this question that was the question that everybody pounced on at Lady Boss last month. So I believe it was Stephanie Threet who asked, but it might have been a combination of people. I think several people piggybacked on and said it was their question too. But I'm so nervous to go live on Instagram or Facebook. Do I have to? How important is it? And do you have advice for getting more comfortable with it? So that's a big question, and we're going to tackle it here because Daniela and I pounced on the answers at Wellstruck Lady Boss, and that's why we wanted to share them too.
Yeah.
So I think first let's talk about do I have to, and how important is it? Okay. What's your take?
So you and I both agreed on this. I think both our faces when somebody asked that, we both were like, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. For small businesses, it's very important right now.
It is, especially, in the sense like, if you're a small business or a solopreneur, things like that, don't look at the big corporations or the big companies that are making these like lavish videos and, it's really about you. It's your personal brand, which Sarah can tell you more on the branding part. But people want to get to know you. And if you're a little afraid to be on the camera, that's okay, because they also need to get to know what you do. So while you're in the zone of like getting comfortable, you can try different strategies just by showing them what happens in a day-to-day of the business or clients or things like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be you right away.
Right, and it doesn't have to be formal. It can be easygoing. In fact, people are really liking that unpolished, raw, sort of behind the scenes vibe.
Yeah.
So I know one of the things I said right away too is like, you don't have to do anything. So you don't have, if you really, really hate the idea of live video and you're great at promoting your business in other ways, like a podcast or blogging, there's always an alternative. So every platform you choose has its pros and cons. And right now, and in the past, honestly, like the past 5 years, but especially the last couple of years, social media platforms are really pushing their video features because people are getting lazier about reading. They don't want to read things. Even on Instagram, Instagram stories is being pushed more by Facebook than your feed is. And I believe there are statistics out there saying that more people are watching Instagram stories. It's easy. It's easy to turn it on and just let the videos go by. And so that's what people are consuming. And then I always say, if you ever see social media platforms heavily promoting one of their features, for example, Facebook has done actual commercials on TV trying to get people to do Facebook Live. So what this means is Facebook is like trying to make that cool. Like they're trying to get you to adopt it. And when you know that a platform is really pushing you to do it, it probably means the algorithm is going to be in your favor if you take the time to get comfortable with that feature. And um, we're always talking about how to beat the algorithm or how to actually show up in people's feeds. And so take a cue from the platforms themselves. So that's my 2 cents on it.
No, I completely agree. And you brought up something about the lives. So, YouTube obviously had the whole this whole strategy down years and years ago. And now, you can also go live on YouTube. But the thing is with Facebook Live is, or even Instagram stories, is they know that people are just, taking a few minutes to scroll through, which is the live is quick and easy and convenient, or just any video type to quickly go up there and put it on. And so it doesn't have to be this planned out structure. It can just be a quick little video, and that's getting people engaged.
Right.
So I kind of had that idea of the quick and convenient. So that helps when you're making your own videos. It's like they don't have to be long. They can be quick, and you can still have content from those quick videos.
In fact, short is good. You don't want anything more than like 20 minutes, right?
Right.
The most.
Yeah. And I always say, like, you have to capture them in the first, like, 4 seconds. And that might be stretching. Like I could check the statistics on it, but so I always kind of, if I'm helping somebody coach, I say, try to avoid your first thing being so, because that's like 1, 2, 3, and they're gone.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so I think that we've established the importance of it. Oh, and the bonus you get when you go live is that Facebook or Instagram tells everyone else who's following you, right, that you're going live, which is free advertising. And I'm guessing that that's not going to be a feature forever. So if you hop on it now and start building your following using that feature, I think that's huge.
That's a good point. So yeah, definitely video, it's key. Mm-hmm. So I both agree. And you just need content. For like years ago, I remember attending a workshop, and that's all they said: content. You need content. And any way you can, you need content.
Content is the way to build trust with people, establish that relationship, get that emotional relationship going, and then people buy based on emotion. And if you're a business, you want people to buy, yada, yada, yada.
Right. I mean, okay. I think how amazing it is. Sorry. I've been thinking of this, I always try to find the positive of the social media, and I'm like, it's so amazing. I've always said as a child, like, I want to be able to talk to people and just connect with them all the time. And I want to talk, and look, like we can all the time.
Connections feel more real for sure when you see the video, and it's a little less perfect curated Instagram feed when you get into the live video territory, which is really where those emotional connections come in. Awesome. Well, so that we follow our own rule and keep this video under 20 minutes, let's jump into our top 5 tips for getting comfortable with going live and doing video. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is set your intention, and you are great at talking about this one, so I'm going to let you roll with it.
Thank you. So this is my biggie, because I've lived it myself, where I've been like, I know I need to, again, make the content. I know I need to make the content, but how I never knew what. I was always like, what are people going to want to listen to? So I don't know if I have this or I said this at the group meeting, but I did want to kind of shout this out there is like, people tell you what they want all the time. You need to just kind of listen. So, say you put up a picture and someone's like, oh my God, I love that shirt. Maybe your thing's not fashion, but maybe you can go up on video and be like, all right, so everybody really liked this shirt. I got this shirt. I just did the sew thing, by the way. But everybody, love this shirt. Here's the shirt. I wore this shirt when I went to my meeting with my new branding client. And this is what we talked about. I was able to help he or she with my business and this and this and this. And then you're able to kind of segue it. You knew what they wanted to hear. So they got what they wanted. And also then you got to talk about what you do. And they're like,
that's genius. I love it.
Yeah. So you got to listen to what they're asking.
Yeah, especially when you're kind of struggling for what content to come up with, that can always lead you into figuring out how to tell the story behind the thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so smart. I love that tip. I feel like I can put that to use.
Oh, I'm glad. So, and then the other one, which I told, when Sarah was first building her online course was, with the setting your intention is to just make bullet points. You have to be prepared. Like, don't try to wing it. Any professional out there doing camera or like live public speaking, live performance, things like that. You wouldn't kind of wing it with a new client. So you want to be prepared. It's the same thing with video. Make 3 bullet points that you can talk about. And so, if you look down, you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to say branding for you, Sarah. So I'm going to talk about SEO. Well, you're the expert on it. So you don't need to, you can talk about SEO. So all you have to remember is like, okay, I want to talk about SEO. You know what I mean? So the bullet points are important.
Yeah, for me, I've found that it helps to like physically write it down on a Post-it when I'm feeling anxious about something, or even like for this call. So we set up a Google Doc that has the 5 tips, but we didn't overwrite the details about them because then it sounds too rehearsed. But we wrote down the 5 bullet points of things we wanted to talk about, which makes it so much easier and like less scary to hop on and wonder, oh, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to hit a wall?
Exactly. And then you said it best, like post it. So you don't need to make it this, it doesn't need to be this big production. It can literally be your 3 points, your beginning, your middle, your end, how you're going to start, the meaty part, the information that sucks them in, and then the end, like how can they contact you, things like, or whatever it is, whatever your ending is.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it too. I was thinking about like 3 different tips that you might share, or 3 different topics, but also to think about it as beginning, middle, and end. So it's more like telling a story.
Right.
Smart.
Do either.
Right.
Yeah.
So in your example before, that might be like, I talk about point 1 is the striped shirt and where I got it. And then I wore it to this meeting. And then what, the result of the meeting or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. You're making it sound so simple.
Okay, so I will say, and this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, so you can tell me not yet. But the biggest thing that I ever tell anyone is that you have to practice. I just, I have a little quote calendar on my desk, and it said something about like courage is building the muscle. So it's the same thing. Video is building the muscle. When I tell you that when I started to go from live performance, put me on a stage or like in front of a class and I'm fine. When I went in front of the video, it was like my mouth didn't move. like weird things started to happen. I turned blank. I like had no personality. And it was just because it was different in front of a camera. It's very different. So you have to just keep practicing it.
Right.
You don't have to, and I think that's one of our points too, is you have to keep practicing it, but you don't necessarily have to share everything. So if live is scary, right?
Yeah. Wait. So hold that thought, because I think we can come back to that. Okay. So number 2 is don't assume people are judging you, and we can fly through this one so that we can get to the others.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Tell me about that.
Oh, well, that's an easy one. So, at the Lady Boss event, I just said like you can't hear what other people are thinking. So like, it's not your business. I heard another quote, like, it's none of your business to know because you can't even hear them. You can't control them. Like, don't try to get in their heads. Like, oh, they're going to think that I'm just being too salesy but who cares? You can't hear what they're thinking. It's for you. It's for you. And then eventually it becomes for them when you're more comfortable.
Well, and the truth is, I think that if people are watching you, if people are following you, first of all, and they're taking the time to watch your video, they're probably giving you the benefit of the doubt and not judging you in a negative way. They're probably cheering you on.
Right. That's such a good point. Yes. So
Right.
that's the positive of it.
Right, exactly. Okay, so we'll zip ahead to number 3, which is take baby steps. And this one I know we can devote a little bit of time to here. We got 5 minutes to stay under our 20 minutes.
All right. So one of the first things, and it's Sarah, I think that you actually gave the suggestion. You said, start with your personal account if that's easier.
Right. So for my business, I actually have a personal Instagram account and a business one. And I found that there was less pressure for me to start getting comfortable with video on my personal account. I don't want to, let's see, cover the next couple of things that you're going to say, but starting there and just talking about things like what I'm cooking for dinner that night or how I'm feeling that day, or it's easier on your personal account because those people are they're not looking for any kind of business advice or anything from you. They're there because they're purely interested in you.
Right. I think that's a great tip. Like you said, like it could be as simple as like, look, I'm cooking this.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
There's no pressure. You just want, it's just something, and keep that in mind for future. It's like you just genuinely want to help or share something that you like that you might find other people like,
Right. And then you can start to transfer that into business, that it doesn't have to be a business tip, but it can just be something that you're excited to share.
Exactly. And then we went on to say at the event, start with your IG stories. I had made the suggestion that if you're not comfortable, if you're still practicing, you're seeing yourself or talking to a camera, then start your stories or videos with you not in the picture. So, say you are a photographer, you can be talking, so you get used to talking on camera, but the whole image can be you're showing the behind the scenes of the shoot that day, so then you get more comfortable speaking on camera. And then when you've practiced yourself, made those videos, you're used to seeing yourself on camera, then you're able to then one day switch it to where you are actually speaking to people, they see your face, so that was another tip.
And with that, you don't have to start doing it live. You can start with just doing regular video, and that way you could re-record it as many times as you darn well please, and nobody knows how many times you've done it. In fact, that was a really good way to teach me just 15 seconds at a time. Now you can free record, but if you try and keep those 15-second limits in mind, it can really help you focus on the 3 points that you have to make within 15 seconds, because you can usually get about 3 sentences in, so that could be your point A, B, C, the 3 bullet points again. So you really think about it, and practicing that on regular video versus live is a great way to dip your toes in the water.
Definitely. I completely agree. And it's just so smart to get, like you said, your 3 points out. So I think I feel like,
yeah, and then move to live video. I skipped ahead a little bit. Oh, well.
Okay. Live. And when you're doing that, no, I'll let you keep going because I know more time.
Oh, okay. So number 4 is think of a personal story to tell. So we did kind of cover this with the 3 points, but again, that beginning, middle, and end. Talk to the importance of a story with a beginning, middle, and end.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And then step 5 is don't worry about answering questions at first when you're live because they're distracting. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah. So I almost jumped into that earlier, but that's the thing is, there's a lot happening in a live video, and for me, what I think is the whole point is that you can converse with people. They can actually be with you there, and they can ask you questions. So let's take the photographer. You're at a shoot. Somebody might be like, "Oh my gosh, what's that lens you're using?" It's hard at first to try to compose yourself on the video, talk about what's going on, answer the questions. So don't feel like you have to answer them right away. That's maybe a good opportunity to then go back and comment. Let your viewers know you're going to comment later. You're going to put up another video later. Maybe that's not a live one that talks about their questions, so you acknowledge them, but don't feel like when you're first starting the live videos that you have to take the questions right away.
That makes sense. And if they scroll past, don't worry about it. You can ask people to re-ask them again at the end. And there's other stuff. There's other tricks that you can use that we could talk about at another time.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you want to learn more from Daniela, go check out her website, which is
DanielaGaldi.com.
DanielaGaldi.com. We'll put
Spell
that.
that.
And you can subscribe to Wellstruck via the website at wellstruck.com.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.